Hi, ladies. Have you ever said anything you really wish you could just take back? Something that after you were done saying it, you thought, did I just say that out loud? I was reminded of how important it is to choose our words carefully the other day when I was in the grocery store and I saw this woman walking along the aisle, and a few feet back was her little boy. He's about 3 years old, and he's running after her, and he's like, "Mommy, mommy, mommy!" And he had a little toy that he wanted to show her, and she was on her cell phone, and she looked back at him, and with the most hateful look, she started cussing at that little boy and calling him all sorts of terrible names. And my heart just broke. I just wanted to grab him up and say, "You are not any of that. You are valuable. You are important." Because she was speaking death into her own child's life. And the Bible tells us in Proverbs 18:21 that death and life are in the power of our tongues. Sticks and stones may break our bones, but names really do hurt us. In Proverbs 25:11, the Bible tells us that a word fitly spoken, a word carefully spoken, is like apples of gold in setting of silver. In other words, it's not only beautiful, but it's valuable. And so the things that we say can be valuable to another person's life. We just have to be careful that we choose wisely. Jesus said that it's out of our heart, the abundance of our heart, that our mouths speak. So what we say is coming directly from our heart. And we need to be careful because we're warned that we will give an account for every idle word that we speak. And so I want to talk just briefly about being very careful and intentional about the things that we say. Colossians 4:6 tells us that we are to let our speech be gracious, seasoned with salt. And I don't know about you, but I like my food seasoned just right, with a little bit of salt, not too much, not too little, but just right. And that's how our words are supposed to be. They're supposed to be not too much, not too little, but just right. A few years back, I was working with a friend of mine, and she had said something to me, and for some reason or another, I had an attitude that night. And when she said something to me, I snapped at her, but I snapped at her right in front of several other women. And of course, immediately I was convicted and wanted to get it right, but there was no time. We were busy. And a little bit later, she came to me and she said, "You know what you said to me hurt." And of course, I apologized and got it right, but I really wish I could take back those words immediately. But we can't. Once we've said them, they're out there, especially when others are listening. They affect them. They affect them for life, or they affect them for death. It's a testimony of our walk with Jesus Christ, and we're either overflowing into people's lives with things that speak life into their lives, or we're overflowing with things that speak death into their lives. And we need to be very careful with the words that we speak. David said, let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in your sight, my Lord and my Redeemer. And so I want to encourage you today, be very careful with the words that you say. You may be speaking death into somebody's life, or you may be speaking life. The choice is yours, and the choice is mine. Thanks for popping in and joining us for 31 ways to make our eternities intentional. Make it count, sweet friend. You'll have forever to be glad you did.